Hey there! If this is your first time on the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a story. And we'd love to know, where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments below. Thank you.
In a quiet rural city, there lived a young woman named Benita. Life had never been kind to her. Everywhere she went, people stared, some with pity, most with disgust. Her face carried the long, visible scar of a terrible tragedy she couldn't remember. Her body was skinny, her skin dull, her posture fragile. Yet behind all that pain was a heart filled with dreams. Benita sat alone on a plastic chair that morning, her head resting against the wall outside their tiny rented home. She whispered to herself, "It wasn't my fault for being ugly. I didn't create myself. But in this world where I live, no one cares." She wasn't wrong. Every job she applied for, she was rejected. Not because she didn't qualify, but because of how she looked. In the city, people mocked her openly. Some said she would never get a husband. Others laughed, "If this one gives birth, how will her children look like? She has no body shape, just bones. She looks cursed." No one ever paused to ask what led to her appearance. They didn't know her story. Benita was once a child of privilege. Born into a wealthy family, she had everything a little girl could ever want. But when she was just 5 years old, a private plane carrying her and her parents crashed on a foggy afternoon. Her parents died instantly. Benita was the only survivor. Her face was burned, her body mangled, her memory gone. She spent 8 full months in the hospital healing from wounds that medicine couldn't fully fix. And when she was discharged, no one came looking for her. She couldn't remember her name, her family, or her home address. She was just a scarred, silent child with no one to claim her. That was when Priscilla found her. A poor widow with no children of her own, Priscilla took Benita in and raised her as her daughter. She gave her food, shelter, and love. Benita grew up calling her mama, never knowing she was adopted. Now at 22, Benita had spent most of her life in that dusty neighborhood, facing rejection, pain, and mockery from the world. Though her stepmother was kind, the world outside had no sympathy. One day, Benita walked into a hotel, neatly dressed, holding a file. She had applied for a receptionist job. Her heart raced as she stood before the manager. But the moment he looked at her face, he frowned. "Sorry, the position has been filled," he said coldly, without even opening her documents. Benita walked home, her steps slow, tears building in her eyes. Still, she never gave up. She tried making friends with other girls in the neighborhood, but they laughed at her. "You again?" one sneered. "Who allowed this skeleton to talk to us?" The insults pierced her heart, but she always held her head high. Despite the pain, she was grateful for Priscilla, the only person who showed her love. That night, Benita sat beside her stepmother, watching the firewood flame in their small kitchen. "Mama," she whispered, "I'm tired of suffering. I want to work. I want to support you. But they don't even give me a chance. Every job I try, they reject me because of how I look. Is it my fault I look this way?" Priscilla took her hand and smiled softly. "Don't cry, my baby girl," she said. "I'll talk to my friend Luciana. Maybe she can help you get something." Weeks passed. One morning, Priscilla returned home with joy in her eyes. "Benita," she called. "Get ready. Luciana found you a job. A bank is looking for an assistant in the accounting department. You'll be trained on the job. No certificate needed." Benita gasped. That night, she couldn't sleep. On her first day at the bank, she wore her best clothes. She entered the glassy building, wide-eyed. Everything was new, beautiful. The staff welcomed her warmly. One even told her, "Ignore what people say. You're doing well, and you deserve to be here." Benita felt something she hadn't felt in years. She felt seen. One day, while seated in her office, a customer was sent to her desk with a complaint. She stood and greeted the man politely. "Good afternoon, sir. Please sit." He sat down but didn't speak. He just stared at her, long and deep. Benita was uncomfortable. She cleared her throat. "Sir, are you okay?" The man blinked and quickly looked away. "I'm sorry, it's just your face. It looks familiar." Benita tilted her head, confused. "I don't think we've met before," she replied. He nodded slowly and began explaining his bank issue. She listened carefully and helped him resolve the dispute. After he left, she shrugged it off. But something about him felt strange. That man was James, the former security guard of her real parents. He had worked at Sir Samuel's mansion for over a decade before the plane crash. When the accident happened, he lost his job. Sir Samuel's younger brother, Clement, had taken over the property, sold everything, and disappeared to the United Kingdom. James, now working at a petrol station, lived in a tiny apartment and barely survived. But that night, as he took his bath, something hit him. His hands froze. A flash from the past screamed in his head. Sir Samuel's daughter! That face, the eyes, he whispered to himself. But her name was Gloria, not Benita. Could she be? He sat quietly, breathing heavily. Maybe it wasn't her. Maybe it was just coincidence. Or maybe... The next morning, Benita was full of energy. She sang in the kitchen as she prepared breakfast for Priscilla. They ate together and headed off to work. But unknown to Benita, someone was following her. She boarded a small public bus on her way to the bank. After a while, she looked around. All the passengers were men. She was the only woman. Her heart began to race. She tapped the driver's chair. "Please, sir, I will drop here." No response. She repeated, "Sir, I want to stop here." Still silence, she looked around. No one spoke. No one moved. Suddenly, fear gripped her chest. "Please, I've been kidnapped. Somebody help me." The bus approached a police checkpoint. Hope sparked in her heart. But the driver increased his speed, zooming past the officers. Up ahead, there was traffic. He tried to brake. The brakes failed. Boom! The bus crashed into a trailer. All went silent. Benita was rushed to the hospital, unconscious. Machines beeped around her, wires strapped to her arms. Priscilla was there, crying, screaming for help. "Doctor, please, my daughter, do something." Benita coughed weakly. Her eyes opened. "Mama," she whispered, "what are we having for breakfast today?" Priscilla smiled in relief. "Get up. We're going on vacation with your dad today. To Dubai." Benita paused. "Dad?" Then she looked around. The room wasn't the hospital anymore. It was bright, spacious, royal. She blinked. Her hair, long. Her skin, smooth. Her body, healthy. She turned to her mother. "Mama, I had a terrible dream." And she began to narrate everything. The plane crash, Priscilla, poverty, rejection, the bank, the bus. It was all too vivid, but it wasn't real because the girl's name wasn't Benita. It was Gloria. She was the real daughter of Sir Samuel. She had never been in a plane crash. She was still alive, still rich, still loved. And the dream was a vision, a warning. That evening, she stepped outside her mansion. James, the old security guard, stood by the gate. He smiled as she walked past. "Small madam, today you must give me big fried chicken." Gloria turned to him and smiled. "I will, James." Because now, she knew, dreams are not always dreams. Sometimes they are echoes of what could be. They are windows into what might happen. And they are sent to prepare you. The end. Hey there, if this is your first time on the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. And we'd love to know, where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments below. Thank you.